Hello, I'm Reverend Mike. Welcome to Missing the Point. In this series, I attempt to correct common misconceptions found in religion. Simple translation errors or misguided teachings can often distract a reader so that they miss the point of certain biblical passages. And hopefully this series will rectify these errors. This video was inspired by a viewer question. Is it true that only the temple clerics of the first temple knew the true name of God? That the Tetragrammaton, YHWH, is an abbreviation of the name? To know the name is great power and the ability to invoke. If we do not know God's name, how can we take God's name in vain? It's a very good question. Well, this is one of the most misunderstood commandments found in the Bible. First, we'll tackle the question one part at a time, and then we'll go through what the commandment actually means and how we can take the Lord's name in vain when his true name may actually be a long-lost secret. It is true that the ancient Levites held many secrets. As legend has it, the true name of God was one of those secrets kept by the priests. It is thought by some that the Tetragrammaton is the true name of God abbreviated and transliterated as YHVH or YHWH. The V is a more modern pronunciation. W is the way they would have pronounced it in ancient times. It's the more traditional pronunciation. In Hebrew, the letters are Yod, He, Wah, He. Other sacred and mystical versions of the name of God exist, consisting of 12, 42, and even 72 letters. And they incorporate the four letters YHWH. These four letters, the Tetragrammaton, when spoken as a word, gives us the name Yahweh. The name was later Latinized with a J replacing the Y and using the more modern V pronunciation of Wah to give us the commonly used English version of the name Jehovah. After the Babylonians destroyed the first temple in the 6th century BC, the term Yahweh fell out of use. It was thought to be too sacred a name, and the words Adonai and Elohim took its place in common usage. It's also thought that the displaced Hebrews felt that using a holy name in what they would have considered to be unholy territory was not appropriate. Rumors abound that speaking the true name of God in reverse can undo creation, and that has been repeated in many Hollywood movies. But that is not how anything works. You cannot undo a thing by saying something in reverse. And the sound of creation has been described by many scholars as a tone, not actually an utterance of the name. Some have even equated this tone to something like the Om that many Eastern religions use in their meditations, since often sound is used in religious ceremonies and to help connect with the Creator. We have many of the names of God listed in various religious texts. Some are considered to have magical power and others not so much. but we don't really know if there was a secret, true name lost to time. If the true name remains unknown, then how can we take his name in vain, as the questioner asked? This part of the viewer question illustrates a major misunderstanding of the third commandment that the vast majority of Christians believe without question. Taking the Lord's name in vain is not saying the word God, or Yahweh, or Jehovah, or Adonai, or Elohim. While we probably shouldn't curse as an example to others, and we probably shouldn't use a sacred name like Yahweh inappropriately, that is not what this commandment is about. Many will be surprised to discover that this commandment is about falsely claiming to do God's work. If you say or do something to sell a book or line your pockets and say you are doing God's work, that is when you are breaking this commandment. You are falsely declaring yourself a representative of God, and that is what is abhorrent. That is what the third commandment states that God will hold you accountable for. I'd say that the vast majority of prosperity preachers who care more about your donations than they do about you break this commandment constantly. People who claim to do things for God or for their church in the name of God and claim these things loudly and publicly for attention, they are not invoking the name of God and doing God's work. They are doing it for attention, prestige, to line their own pockets, or to get free stuff for themselves. They are using the name of God for vanity, taking the Lord's name in vain. That is the abomination. That is what the commandment warns us about. It's not about swearing, and never was. When you claim to do things in the name of God and you are not being truthful, you are preying upon the trust of the faithful, and that is not something God is going to just let go when you are judged. That is the essence of the third commandment. There you have it, one of the most misunderstood commandments in the Bible. Perhaps in the future I'll go into some of the other misunderstood commandments. Thank you for watching this video. Please click like or dislike. Subscribe if you want to see more. Feel free to comment or ask a question below. Who knows? Your question may even become the subject of a future video, just like this one. Be good to each other. We are all in this together. And I mean that sincerely.